Hi everyone, and welcome to Tuttietalkssense, and I am Tootie. So, y'all, let's get right into everything that didn't happen since the last time I reported. I'm gonna report one more time on that Tasha K and Larry Reid, right? Because I done came to the conclusion that I don't know what's going on. It's so much of this and that, and there's so many different YouTubers out here reporting on this that I'm like, they got more information. They got it covered. Conscience TV do a very good job. He shows documents. He shows arrest records, mug shots, the court documents. So I'm like, he got it. My opinion, after I didn't watch more of it, was that it does seem like I will honestly have to say I was when I first wrote this, and I'm like, okay, Tasha K is gonna reveal her final receipts. So she finally revealed her receipts that she's been saying throughout this, I don't know, 3 weeks of her series that she did. That these receipts. But I said from the beginning that these receipts are Tasha receipts. Sometimes it's just be Tasha talking or Tasha interviewing someone, and the receipts don't be receipts. Like when people, oh, I got receipts. A lot of times people don't have receipts. They just have somebody else talking or somebody else saying the same thing that they were saying. Tasha receipts was it was the receipts that's supposed to like definitely prove Larry Reid guilty, no questions, no doubts. And it was just receipts of Larry Reid apologizing. But they also Conscious TV also show him receipts of him apologizing to other members at that church, male members who was there at that same time. He was apologizing for being the way he was. He was anti-gay and he was strict and he kicked everybody out without explanations, and so he was apologizing for things of that nature. I do not like that. Once the guy brought up the in that same email, Larry Reid was responding to the guy, supposed to be responding to the guy saying that you're trying to convince me that you didn't end me, during the 7 years, blah, blah, blah. I said, like, right away, I would have been like, what the, you talking about? Baby, that ain't never happened. But that's not the way he handled it. And he said because he know these allegations had came up before, that he had, and the first time it came up, it was because he had kicked them out. Now he done kicked them out again, and then it's coming up again. So he's like, he was just not going to play into that rhetoric, and he just apologized for the way that he stopped talking to him, and then just left it alone because he wasn't going to talk to him no more. So I said, we're listening to with the Tasha K and this PPP series, and then listening to Larry Reid, because at first I was like, Larry Reid have never came out and said he adamantly denied it, but he actually did. He came out in the conversation that Tasha K is reporting is on her she has a conversation with her and Larry Reid when what if I told you? When she in that conversation, you could tell she just pretty much want him to do an interview on her show so she can get the views for it. But he refused to do the interview. Then that's when it seems like this when all this stuff became public, when she did the series and everything of that nature. So I might, and then on Storm Monroe's show, he denied it. On his show, he denied it. Conscious TV, he have denied it. So it's like unless they go to court and there's some more documents that come out there, like Levantre's side does not sound the people who have testified. One thing I will say, the people who I told you in the last interview, his mama just makes it look worse on her as a mama. I hope it didn't happen and you talking about he told you and then you went back to the church. That's one. Went back to the church for years. So then Tasha K, this week, before she dropped the brother interview on YouTube, that she was doing, the previews, so you can go to her show and watch it. And in the preview, before she did, her setup for the preview was, yeah, this brother is educated, he well educated, he got these degrees, this is what he do, this is the field that he work in. And then the preview that she showed, he said he was an administrator at a university for 12 years. I'm like, how is this what he do? You talking about he a secretary or the intake person at the university and this is what he do? You can't just say anything now for people who got sense, who people who gonna, you know, critically think. I'm like, baby, that ain't what he do. Unless you go further into the interview and he say other stuff that he do, because being a administrator at a university means you work with young people. That does not mean that you know, SO or SA, dealing with victims who have SA or some type of M, you know, that this is what you do. How's that? I'm like, so you just gonna say I had just, you can't just tell anything and then expect people to believe the rest of the stuff you say. Then with Conscious TV has the court documents with the Bishop Whitehead and how many times he done been in jail, baby, and the fraud and stuff that he done created, and now he's trying to sue Larry Reid for $20 million. I think he's suing Larry Reid in, I don't know if it's in Conscious TV or another creator, but it's just all too much for me. So I'm like, y'all, I'm done with the story. The only thing I wanted to come here and say that I initially, you can see in my first video, people don't know that when you do YouTube, if you're not in the YouTube world, if you're not watching YouTube, you don't know none of these people. I don't care how many thousands and millions of viewers that they have. Like in my life personally, I only came across watching YouTubers because one of my friends told me about Tasha K. So I initially started off watching Tasha K. Ain't nobody, and she already had thousands of subscribers. Ain't nobody these people. I have 7 sisters. Now, never one of them heard of Tasha K until she got into the Cardi B situation. So it's like everything that's going on in these YouTube streets, and everybody like, well, you know me, and this person jealous of me, and that could be true within that circle, but in these, unless you people are watching YouTube, and a lot of people like me was just going on YouTube to watch music videos and not too much of watching the commentaries that's on there. So and so that's why I'm not too informed. I wasn't too informed on Tasha K history when I started watching her. And so what she would say, I was just taking it as face value, because it did seem like heavy is the head that wears the crown, because it's when I started watching her, it was, I think she ended up getting into it with Lovely T, Nick at Night. And then I'm like, oh, it sounds like some, you know, female bickering back and forth. She was most popular, you know, people coming out of the type thing. Then it was Storm Monroe. I think eventually her and T.S. Madison had some words. And it's just this Larry Reid thing that I'm like, damn, she do seem like she might be a little hater there. You know what I'm saying? Might be one of those people that you know, don't want you a little ahead of me. I'm gonna have to knock you down, because I need everybody to stay below me. But yeah, that's all my opinion about the Tasha K stuff. I can't keep going back and forth. It's other people. I just seen today, I want to say his name is the Real King Payne. Now him and Conscious TV, everybody's picking sides, and they on opposite sides. But I think he did a 6-hour YouTube video. I said, baby, there's no way that I'm gonna go watch them 6 hours. Can't do it. And now Jaguar Wright and Sherelle World then got into it. That's a whole nother thing. I said, I'm sticking to the commentary of these news stories, because baby, you'll be down a whole rabbit hole trying to follow all these doggone YouTubers and what they got going on, and who into it with who, and who's on what side, and what's believable or not. I more will keep following Conscious TV because of the facts of the documents that he's presented. Yeah, he gives his opinion and he says who he believes on, whose sides he's on, but at least he have documents and some facts behind it. Oh, and I had contacted him on Instagram, and he actually contacted back, and I was like, he has a pretty good base. I want to say at least 50,000 subscribers, and I was like, that was pretty decent of him to to respond back to a nobody like me. So a nobody in the streets. I'm somebody to my kids. But that's all I wanted to say about that. So then I wanted to get into the Grammy Awards, because I did not watch it when it was on. I watched it the next day, because typically to me, the Grammy is boring. And I like to fast forward past the parts that I don't know none of these people. I don't want to have to sit here and listen to their songs. I will listen to some music that I don't know if I like it. But if I'm listening to it and I don't like, maybe I want to fast forward through all that. Half that stuff ain't for us. So I said, now Now they want to be the Grammy is so black this year. I was like, oh, look at the Grammys. Putting it on in February and being all black, blacker than black this year. Oh, God. So Beyonce made history with the person winning the most awards, and that dress was bad. And I was like, oh, look at Beyonce. She was late, but when you the queen, you can arrive late. Who cares? She made it. That's all that matters. So Viola Davis became an EGOT, and I like her. She's so pretty to me. I started watching her at How to Get Away with Murder. Of course, she was in previous movies and stuff before that, but How to Get Away with Murder was my show. So every time I see her, I'm like, there go How to Get Away with Murder, even though I know her name. That's not her. So, and baby, Mary J. Blige performed. My night was over. I could have cut it off up after that because Mary is my favorite artist. And that dress with them boots and them gloves, I said, get it, Mary. Okay, you showed up and showed out. You didn't even have to win no award, baby. Shuts it down. Okay. Did the Lizzo performance. I like the Lizzo performance, and I like the outfit for it. She had the choir and everything. I don't know what the choir had on. It looked like some gold aluminum foil. But the Lizzo outfit was really nice. And I liked her outfit when she was sitting in her outfit when she performed. Her hair, the wet and wavy look was really pretty. And Lizzo is a pretty girl to me anyway. Then the next day they were saying, because when you watch it, you see that that Offset had did Quavo had did a performance to take off. You know, they did the in memory of the different people who passed, and he did his was he did a performance and a song, and I actually really liked it. And the next day it comes out that Quavo and Offset had a fight in the back before the thing because one of them wasn't allowed to go out there on stage and perform. And I said, oh, well, we'll see if that's really true, because I want to say TMZ reported that you could hear Cardi B, yelling, saying, y'all both wrong. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all both wrong. I say, so, hopefully, maybe it'll come out if that's actually true, if that's actually what happened. Because I can see, people are just, hear some Cardi B getting loud and, and make something up. But also when it comes to, a loss of a life and dealing with grief, people deal with grief differently. And some people will be still upset. And you be like, oh, this person didn't pass. Y'all need to let it go and come together. And it depends on what y'all was into it about before they passed and how y'all interactions been since they passed. Did you reach out? Did we try to console each other? Like, and then that'll make you even more mad. But sometimes, like, anger is one of the big steps in grief. So sometimes people just be more angry and cannot at that point, come together and reconcile something. So, but eventually, hopefully, they will. So, then Sam Smith. So, people are saying that, oh, I didn't know that, when Sam Smith initially came out that, he was singing to women, and it was almost like he was pretending to be straight, or, that's how they wanted him to come across as straight. But when Sam Smith first came out to me, I was like, oh, that boy is play for the other team. He just got a I'm like, to me, it wouldn't matter. I like his songs because he had a voice. I like his songs, so I would listen to him anyway. But I seen that performance with the red and the devil. First, I didn't like that outfit that he had on. Then I see it was supposed to be for him and the devil, and the lady that performed with him, Kim. I don't remember. I know she was a trans woman, and that was her first. I want to say it's the first trans woman to receive a Grammy. And Sam Smith, he did the supposed to be the devil and the people around him, and the song is called Unholy. And I had never heard the song. Then when I went and read the lyrics, the song is supposed to be about a down low guy. And I'm assuming he's talking about himself, that he's, talking to this down low guy. And it's like, mommy, do you know where daddy at? And so it's a family man and got a wife and a kid, or a girl and a kid at the house. And he, leaves the house and sneak out and going to be with a man. And if your wife knew what you was doing, she'll feel like it was so unholy. Now, I'm not a fan of the song. I'm not. But at the same time, I'm not a fan of that weekend, the weekend song. When it's Monday to no, that's not how it go, y'all. I'm about to mess up that lady's song because that is not the lyrics. Her man is my man is his man is y'all know what song I'm talking about. Called The Weekend. That's the name of it. That's the title of it, The Weekend. So like I wasn't a fan of that either. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm not a fan of just cheating songs because I don't agree with it in general. But Kelly Price, As We Lay, come on. TLC Creep, come on. Baby, I'm all up in it. Oh, as we lay. Trying to hit all the notes, everything. So I creep. Yeah. So I'm just a hypocrite. That's just what it is. I got nothing to say. But I see that Kim didn't dress up in the devil and do all that in the red. She was over there in the cage. Maybe some type of artistic meaning on that. Or maybe she was just like, I got enough problems with my own, with the trans being accepted. I'm not finna just be out here with the devil and stuff. I got my own battles to fight. You ain't finna be making me fight these Christians and the devil too. You go ahead and do this and we're gonna get this Grammy together. But I ain't finna be over there now. So I want to say that was all that was significant. Everybody's talking about the J-Lo and Ben Affleck and Affleck. Yeah, I just call him Affleck like he was insurance. But Affleck. But people was talking about how he, either they was arguing or he seemed uncomfortable or he just wasn't into it. Like he looked like, one of the husbands that at the, corporate Christmas party that the wife then drug there and he don't know nobody there. And he don't want to be there and stuff. He did. I mean, ain't nothing to talk about, ain't nothing to say about it. They're a couple. And then you're a married couple. Sometimes y'all argue. Sometimes you go to places you don't want to go to because your partner is there and you're there in support. I mean, you could fake it a little bit better, but it is what it is, okay? Okay, then I just want to say I had a friend that passed. His name was Bucky. So I want to say rest in peace to him. Get too much into that because it's just it's just so much to involve because it's black cops and then they finally arrested the one white cop that was there. I was watching today because I said I was going to talk about it today, so I went head on and watched the video. It was like a 24-minute video. And I'm thinking it was going to show something different. But all it showed you was how that white cop seen what was going on and what was doing. And he moved because it was his body cam because you can see his white hands. So he moved over to the side so he could be like, not me, girl. So he could not be involved in it. So, and I'm like, but I want to say the top thing caught him. I know he was the one that tased him. But it seems like he was trying to be off to the side and keep his body cam on to have a defense. Because I'm like, if he didn't agree with it, then why didn't you say anything? Maybe he was scared because it was 5 and it was, 5 of them just wanted him. But I don't know. It's like to have this conversation, it would take a long time because we'll talk about, okay, they was African-American cops. This was an African-American guy. But I said in my first video, I had touched on black cops. And I want to say my first video, one of my first videos was talking about growing up in Chicago. And I was saying that, like how bad the cops are here, that in the black people, we hate to get pulled over by black cops because we would rather, take our chances with the white cop because, it's 50-50 that he may be, 50-50. Maybe it's a little higher than that. But as a black female, it was the worst thing that you can get pulled over. We don't want to get pulled over at all, honestly. But when you see a black cop with a white partner, you like, oh my God, here we go. Because they finna be extra. And I compared them to the it's Menace to Society and the parody that the Wayans brother did when they had Bernie Mac be the black cop. He said, I hate my teeth. No, he said, I hate my gums because they black. I hate whoopee gold lips. And I said, and that's how it is when that's the best I could do to compare to when you get pulled over and there's a black cop and there's a white cop. They be so bad that the white cop sometimes got to be like, oh, calm down now. I'm not even that racist. So it'll be a whole long thing. I just, it's a horrible thing that happened, and condolences to the family, and hopefully there'll be some real justice, and one day that this will stop. So I also wanted to talk about the Ricky Smiley son had passed. His son is named Brandon, and as far as I know, there have been no official cause of death, but there are so many videos on YouTube, on Facebook, clickbait videos that's saying, "Oh, click for to find out Ricky Smiley's son official cause of death," and I'm looking like, how are y'all setting up here trying to benefit and get clicks off this man's son death? Like that's just vile to me. That's just vile. And everybody trying to interpret what he said and trying to, because right here he say that when they found him, blah, blah, blah. And I seen one person said it was pills, and it's just a bunch of speculations and allegations. And until that man comes out, because, when, if anybody been watching, I just lost my brother-in-law on November 6th, and we're just not finding out with the autopsy, because he was found in, once waking up, and found him in the bed, and he was only 30, I think he was 39. He hadn't turned 40 yet. But it took a long time, but just yesterday, today is September, y'all. Today is February 8th today. So just found out yesterday. And it took that long for autopsies and stuff to come back. So all this time you're sitting there wondering and guessing and trying to figure it out. And so with Ricky Smiley, I know that if he don't know yet, what the cause is, and all these people with all these things, it's probably just saying it. But hopefully he's not watching it, because if you do, it'll send your mind into a whole whirlwind, and people are sitting there like for sure, like you some type of doctor or something. But hopefully, he's at peace, and he's been doing a lot of social media and updating on videos and everything. And I feel like everybody deal with it differently, and that's his way to get through it. Then more power to him, y'all. That's all I have for now. I'm gonna go and get back to work. Y'all see my shirt today. This is a custom shirt that I made. It said Chapter 40. It's Gemini right there. This was one I made me for my 40th birthday. I'll be the big 4-1 this year, y'all. That's all I have. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.